Hi, and good evening, everyone. This is the very first attempt of discussing the markets and helping you to get ready to trade for the next day or the week. And so I decided to keep it on a Monday evening. Quickly, can I get some confirmations from you if you're able to see me and hear me clearly? That will be good. If I quickly get some confirmations, I'll get to know that my mic is working fine, webcam is fine today evening. Quick confirmations. Okay. All right. So I'll share my screen. There's nothing more important than sharing charts and talking about the market. So I'll share screen number one, and this should take you to my iris screen. Okay, just hold on a minute. I'd rather drag it to my second screen so that I'm able to see your questions. Give me a moment. Okay, will this work? Yeah, this works fine. Perfect. All right. So get ready to trade. What I'm trying to get to is, and I have seen this so many times with myself also, the day I'm pretty well prepared with the markets for the next day or the next week, it tends out to be in my favor. I don't know if it has worked with you, right? So the days when I'm a little hasty and I've not come prepared, maybe I had a busy weekend, and the focus is on how well have you read the market and how well are you prepared for the next day. So a couple of few basic things I would like to share. This kind of concept can go on for hours, but I would like to split today's interaction into a bit of a market, what happened, what can we expect tomorrow or the next 4 days, that's rest of the week, and quickly some important questions. I can see a few of them I've got posted. Good to see Ankit and Aditya has also joined in. Pritam Das is there. All right, perfect. So first, what my focus over here is, always has been and will be, a top down approach. So most importantly is what happened to the Nifty, what happened to the broader markets, and of course, what happened to the sectoral indices. As you can see over here on my trading view screen, this is my sectoral watch list, right? Um, on my screen here, I am looking at the weekly, the daily, and the 125-minute time frame. These are the three time frames. I generally prefer to trade the daily time frame and at times the 125-minute time frame if I get an early indication from this lower time frame. I prefer not to go beyond, as in lower than 125. So quickly, what do I have on my screen? I have the Kanashi charts, which most of you, if you follow me, you know that I use the Kanashi. At the three lines which is there, this is the closing price on the Kanashi. This is the 5 EMA and the 8 EMA. And this is a short-term RSI, which will give me pullbacks, which will give me divergences of a classical nature, that is of contrarian nature. And it will also give me divergence of the hidden nature, the hidden divergences. So it was a positive day, number one. And we have a bounce back. We have a pretty sharp bounce back in the market after a pretty sharp sell-off that we recently experienced. What should be the view? Now, if I go by a simple couple of moving averages, they have turned on the downside, and the trend based on the daily time frame is down, and we have a sharp bounce back, which is taking the RSI close to that 80 mark. And this is the scene of the bounce back on the 125-minute time frame. The weekly chart has a pretty decent structural divergence on the top. It had given us a sharp sell-off last week. Similar kind of a sell-off happened twice in the past, and none of them had broken below this low. Will this low hold this time? Will this be lucky the third time, right? The first time when it did not break the low, there was no divergence. The second time when it did not break the low, there was no divergence. This time when we are questioning ourselves, will it break the low or not? There is a bit of a reading. If you use MACD, RSI, any kind of momentum indicators and use a short-term parameter, you'll tend to find this. So my view on the market, on the Nifty, is bearish, cautiously bearish because of the size of the pullback. It seems that the market wants to pull itself up before it releases itself on the downside again. So I'll be looking more if I'm a futures trader, if I'm a derivatives trader, I'm cautiously bearish and I'm looking more on the downside. Bullish opportunities, I'll be a little careful because the market has gone through a sharp sell off. News wise, geopolitical tension, sentiments, it's kind of a 50-50 kind of market. I don't think it's a strong across the board bullish market scenario right now. Okay. Keeping this in mind, we should quickly take a look at the small caps, the mid caps, and how the CNX 500 has played out. Now, CNX 500 will more or less mirror the behavior of Nifty most of the time. Small cap has created a range for itself. Mid cap has kind of fallen more than the Nifty and has bounced back. So if you want to focus more on the smaller and mid cap for any kind of shorting opportunities or weakness, I think it's the mid cap which looks more weaker than the small cap, and it's the mid cap which looks more weaker than the Nifty. How can I say this? Simply by the look of the trend, simply by the look of the bounce back, and also not to mention, I see that the mid cap has given a breakout failure. So let's see whether the mid cap seriously opens up on the downside. So the readings from the Nifty is cautiously bearish. The readings from the broader markets is the same. PSU Bank had a significant bounce back today, 3% up. Not much of a change, very similar to the way the Nifty looks. Consumer durables, big move, pretty big move in today's trade, and it's reversing the trend. So I will not be willing to short consumer durables. No. Pharma is bouncing back, but probably it will have some more room on the upside before it ties down. I can see some kind of so I will not be so keen to short the pharma right now. Not the auto, FMCG possible, bank Nifty possible, real estate definitely possible on the downside, because my view is cautiously bearish. I'm looking for which sector aligns itself with the Nifty. So private bank, finance, energy to some extent. IT has been down significantly, and this is not the right time or place to short IT because IT had given numerous opportunities. The logic based on which I'm discussing with you today evening is when the two moving averages are on the downside, and whenever the index gives any meaningful bounce back. So if you see the IT, these are the areas that I'm more interested to look for a short opportunity. That's exactly how the Nifty is playing out right now, yes, and the various other sectors. So IT I will avoid. Metals I will not short. And on the other hand, metals is the rare sector amongst all of them which is still in a pretty strong uptrend even at this juncture. So metals I'm not too keen. Apart from that, I'll be looking for some opportunities. Now let's say real estate, right? Now, so the first level of analysis was the Nifty and the broader markets, and then we come down and we take a look at the sectors. When we take a look at the sectors on a day when the Nifty is almost up 190 points, I would like to sort it out and see which is the sector, which are the sectors which participated the least, or let's say less than 1% gain. So I can see all of these. Metals, I'm not going to short. IT, I'm not going to short because it's way too down and way too late. Let's take a look at CNX Energy, Finance, and Bank Nifty. Let's find if we can figure out any opportunity. So let's take a look at CNX Energy. Now we are drilling down to that particular sector. When we come to energy and we take a look at the weekly chart, what we can see is a triangular formation, and we can say that this guy is consolidating. It's slowing down. We can say it's a consolidation. And the consolidation is meaningful because the consolidation is coming after a phenomenal rally. Now, most of the time, after a rally like this, a consolidation should lead to a continuation. But let's see, we might get a short-term correction also, which will be enough on the daily chart for any kind of a derivatives trader to make use of. So we come to the energy daily chart, and we notice that the index has just moved into a short-term downtrend. It has given us a pullback. Not really bearish, neither really bullish, but we have to wait for a slip at least below today's low. So there's something like on the high Kanashi, we don't exactly get to see the low unless there's a lower shadow. I would say let's see a slip below 39,300. So energy cautiously bearish. Now, if energy is cautiously bearish, then the next step that I will do is okay. I will go to the, this is new. Um, I will go to my 108 stock list and I go to the oil and gas and fuels and all the energy stocks and I sort it out and I check how's NTPC playing out. Doesn't look that good. Any fall below today's low can open up further downside. Gale, no, the trend has not reversed yet. So don't we would not like to short Gale. Not Petronet, not Tata Power, IGL below today's low. ONGC, no. Reliance, no. Power Grid, no. Coal India, yes. This looks the best as of now. Coal India, NTPC, and IGL. Coal India looks the, so let me mark them for you. NTPC, red. IGL, red. Coal India, red. IOC, possible choppy range bound. I'm not that keen. Hind Petro, definitely no. Beautiful move on the upside. In fact, Hind Petro is a stock I discussed. We were discussing in our masterclass morning session today morning. I can see there are many participants today evening who are from the masterclass program. So you would remember that we were discussing how Hind Petro can, has given the breakout and can extend. And finally, BPCL, of course, no, because one look at the OMCs and what we see is extreme choppiness. Out of these three, out of these three, Coal India gives me the maximum confidence to short Coal India tomorrow if it breaks below today's low. Why? Because the size of the Kanashi is small. It's what we call as an Kanashi golden bar. Let's not go to that concept. But bottom line, it's a very small Kanashi. The trend has just reversed down. It has given me a pullback. What I like to do is primarily pullback trading. And so it can lead to some bit of a weakness if I sell below. So I say, let's say I'm using I can use it on a sheet, on an Excel sheet, but let's say I write it down, Coal India. And now I'll do my risk profiling. Let's say I want to sell below the low, and the low is 437.2, 437. And I say I keep a stop loss little above the high, 444.7, 445. Let's say I give 447. So 447, 437, it's a 10 point. Coal India, I'm looking for a 10 pointer trade in tomorrow's trade. That's an example of getting myself ready with a stock which I can look to initiate a trade in tomorrow's trade. This is just one such example which I wanted to discuss with you. Now, if you're a futures trader like me, you will multiply 10 points with the lot size of Coal India, and you'll find out that if I short one lot, what will be my risk per lot. There are other finer points that one can look into, but let's not go there. The idea is how we can prepare better. Let's do one more sector. Can we do one more sector? Are you with me? Let me quickly take a look at my second screen where I can see the chat box. Yes, you can. आप Heiken भी use कर सकते हो. You can use Heiken. You can use the bar chart also. You can use a similar kind of a concept on the candles also. No problem. I personally prefer the Kanashi. I know, and I find gems using the Kanashi, which a typical candlestick or a bar chart misses out. Bar chart and candlestick, candlesticks has its own, positives, negatives also. But I have somehow found my peace uh, in the high. Again, as I said, I can recognize few names which are part of my masterclass program, and you know how powerful an Kanashi golden bar can turn out to be. Okay, let's do one more sector. Let's do one more sector, and then I'll quickly take some questions from you. So going back to the sectoral watch list. Um, After energy comes finance, bank nifty, right? Now, finance and bank nifty, if I click them back to back, they gain pretty well. It's a very good looking Kanashi. Just remember, if your Kanashi is positive in color, it does not have a lower shadow, does not have a lower shadow. That's a very positive high Kanashi. Okay. Let me quickly take a look at reality. Realty's size of the candle is small. Okay. Now I don't have much option in reality. So I'll look into both the sectors. If I come to my 100 list of 108 stocks, and if I take you to my reality, there's only three: Oberoi, Godrej Prop, and DLF. I trade the futures, so I only track the ones which is there in the derivatives. Oberoi bounce back, indeed. Downtrend, indeed. But I see continuous reds on the Heiken-Ashi for almost what, 6 or 7 bars. It's the pullback has come late. For me, this pullback has come late. Godrej Prop, better. Why better? Because the trend is just reversing, on the verge of reversal. It's given us a pullback. Will this break down below this? Okay, I can mark Godrej Prop here. Now it's not a very weak chart. What it is trying to do is probably find some support at previous highs. So Godrej Prop is make or break. Is it a short trade tomorrow? Yes, but it's a make or break also. From here on, it can reverse as well. Let's say it reverses. I just want to spend 2 more minutes here. Let's say our expectation, anticipation that this guy will break down does not happen. On the other hand, Godrej Prop goes up. Possible. If you're a trader, you know in market anything is possible. If this happens, let's say Godrej Prop goes up for the next 2 or 3 days, then the first sign of this reversal you will find from the lower time frames. In this case, I'm using 125. Let's just try and understand what I'm getting to. If Godrej Prop doesn't fall and go up, this chart will go up. If this chart goes up, these two moving averages will cross over. So the support from the daily chart and the possible bounce back from the daily chart can be well identified from the lower time frame. 125 is what I'm using. You can use 75. Try not to use 60. Nowadays, most of the broking terminals, the widget, the trading view widget, they give you 75. They give you what they call as customized time frame, custom time frame. Okay. So this is an example that yes, I have a bias of a downside trade in Godrej Prop, but I can also see substantial evidences of support. And who knows if Godrej Prop gives a turnaround? Why will I be stuck on my bias that it has to fall? I can trade the upside also. So this is one good example. DLF, this is the one that matters. And DLF also has given us a bounce back, and it's a little late, just like Oberoi. So I'll mark Godrej Prop. Now, before I take the questions, financial services is, I have a long list. I have 20 stocks, wherein I have clubbed banks and non-banking financials also. Let me sort in terms of the ones that did not participate. And I'm going to quickly click on them. There are 20 names, so I'm not going to waste much time. The two things that I'm going to see on my daily chart. My focus is on this chart. I'm going to check whether it's in a downtrend and whether it's given us a pullback. That's it. HDFC, AMC, no. Bank, HDFC Bank, no. ICICI, GI, no. IndusInd Bank, yes, but late. HDFC Life, yes, but I will not want to short it because I can see a nice looking divergence playing out there. Fed Bank can be interesting. Extremely choppy on the weekly chart. I don't like it at all. Setup wise, can be interesting. Can be. Fed Bank. Bajaj Finserv, possible. Kotak Bank, no. Positive trend. Chola Fin, late. IDFC First, no. Uptrend. Bank of Baroda, difficult because it's in a make or break stage. It can scale up above today's high also. ICICI Bank, possible. Though I can see a bit of a range expansion happening. PFC, possible. SBI, possible. REC, no. PFC, yes, but REC, not that. SBI Life looks weak. This chart looks weak. If you want to find a weakling, In all the names so far, Axis Bank looks weak. Bajaj Finance, strong rally, no. Shriram Finance, yes, possible, but I think it's little late. I'm just preparing myself, and then PNB possible. Okay. Now, see, it has to be a top-down approach. If I go through the names and if I find any bullish chart, I should not get too overwhelmed by the bullish chart, because the first point wherein we discuss the market is cautiously bearish. So I cannot go against my view of the market, no matter irrespective of how much rally it happens. I need to stick to what my view is. So let's say I write my view is cautiously bearish. Next point, I should be looking for predominantly short trades. Next point, which are the sectors which looks predominantly short and overheated. Third, fourth point, which are the stocks. So that's the way in which I will, put down. So we found Coal India. So in this, not very promising. I didn't find any stock which is really promising like that. If I have to find a weakling, a really weakling is SBI Life, because it's weak on the weekly charts, it's weak on the daily charts, it's given a pullback. So if you have to find a relatively weak stock, this is the one. And you can do the same calculation, the low, the high, find the risk, multiply it with the lot size. These are all short trades. We are doing this, get ready on a Monday evening, wherein my view on the market is bearish. That's why most of the trade I'm looking for it is bearish. Let's say we do it next week or later next month, and if the market turns out bullish, the discussion will be on the bullish side. So this is one way that I have been doing it for quite some time. This is one way that I generally always suggest in my masterclass program to follow. Uh, there are guys, I can see them. You would know that this is the way that you should follow it, and that's the way to do it. You just um, yourself, prepare yourself for the worst also with your risk management and stop loss and discipline, and fingers crossed, hope that market will unfold in your favor. Okay. Um, I'll quickly take some questions. Darsh, Darsh is asking that, is this a time to buy bonds instead of equity? How much percentage of capital should go to debt in one's portfolio? This answer can be stretched, and this is one answer which will not fit everyone. It's like you go to a nice tailor and you get a shirt, nice crisp shirt tailored based on your physique. That's not going to fit others, right? So just remember one thing. Number one, equity is much more volatile, relatively much more volatile than debt. Number one, equity volatility is much more than the volatility of debt. So even with a smaller equity exposure, there is a chance, a huge chance of outperforming and your portfolio getting better. A sensible, conservative way would be 30 to 40%, and rest of it in debt. By equity and debt, I would say low risk, high risk. And in high risk, you can do equity, currency, commodity, wherein the risk is more, but the possibility of return is also more. There is an age old formula of 100 minus age and all. I don't think so. It works that way, well, that way. But it depends. Of course, there is a logic behind it. As you age, you would not want to take that much risk, but the opposite is happening with me. As I age, I see myself taking more risk. It depends on on your understanding of market. Okay. Ankit Gupta is saying that it is said limited stock, limited trade in stock market. Does this mean only to trade in Nifty 50 stocks? Again, this is a very relative thing. As you noticed, Ankit, right now, I have a list of 108 stock. I trade futures. With my experience, I found out that trading quality names which has a weightage in the index in that sector, which is liquid, plays out much better than trading an illiquid counter. So everyone will have their own suggestion. If you ask me, I will suggest stick to 108 stocks. Sir, I cannot manage to track 108 stock, then maybe 50 stocks. Best thing, best answer is don't listen to anyone. you figure out what should be your universe. ठीक है. Allocation of capital for trading and investment. This is Aditya. Again, hat trick of questions. The answers are very relative, right? Um, very difficult to say. It depends. It depends on your age. What is your relationship with money? How are you defining investment and trading? Aditya, there's no right answer to this, but I would say, um, like, I can throw a percentage like 70-30. If you have 10 lakhs, you can, kind of park 7 lakhs, work on investments, buy some stocks which you really like, companies at lower levels, and build the portfolio. And the rest of the 3 lakhs you can use and use it margin and you can trade. Now, it's a very, very relative answer. And you have extended this your question by also in the investments, how much allocation to Nifty, Bs, gold. Again, work at it. You know, uh, if you find that you are uncomfortable with the volatility in your trading portfolio, आपका trading portfolio ज़्यादा volatile होगा, वो झट से नीचे भी जाएगा और 1-2 महीने में काफ़ी ऊपर भी आएगा. Investment portfolio में volatility कम होगा. You have to figure out with experience कि what kind of a trader investor you are, what gives you comfort, what gives you anxiousness. Accordingly आपको खुद को बनाना पड़ेगा. I strongly believe that anyone's predefined rules, formula will not fit in uh, everyone else. आपको खुद को थोड़ा सा tweak करके you have to figure out what works for me. But general consensus, I would say 70-30 is not a bad. Also, everything is random and not predictable in the stock market. Then how trading setups work in the long term? It's about the probability and the chance, right? And the biggest thing over here would be, even if you go 50% of the time wrong, but if your average profits are greater than your average losses, you're a net positive trader. You need to focus on positive expectancy, or you have to focus on positive mean trader, which means that going right does not matter here, right? So yes, to some extent things happen, but you got to catch a trend. um Pritam Das, okay, hi Pritam, good to see you. Sweet love, we discussed couple of trades. Coal India, we discussed. You're asking for trades that we can get prepared for tomorrow's trade. um Radhe Rani, we will not go into discussing selective stocks. We would like to discuss more generic and how we can prepare ourselves for tomorrow. Um, okay, Simran has asked a question. Tata Power is looking weak to me on hourly. Can you explain why we shouldn't go short there? I didn't say that you cannot go short there, but when I was looking at the oil and gas and the fuels and all the energy stocks, what I was looking for in these names when I clicked on Tata Power, my focus is the daily chart. आप गलत मत समझिए, मैं डेली चार्ट ट्रेड करता हूँ प्रीडोमिनेंटली, और मुझे डेली पे एक डाउन ट्रेंड चाहिए, जो कि नहीं है, और इसीलिए मैं यहाँ पे शॉर्ट नहीं करने वाला हूँ. वेरी सिंपल. ठीक है. बट इफ यू कम टू द आवरली चार्ट, और इन दिस केस मैं आपको स्ट्रांगली सजेस्ट करूंगा आवरली ट्रेड ना करके 75 मिनट ट्रेड कीजिए. 75 already goes into a downtrend. 75 has already given you a pullback. 75 is weak, धीरे धीरे वीक हो रहा है. सो इफ यू फिगर आउट दैट नहीं 75 में और आली चार्ट पे मैं इसके नीचे इसको शॉर्ट करूंगी या मैं यहाँ पे स्टॉप, इज दिस अ ट्रेड? या दिस इज अ ट्रेड. सो defining and deciding your time frame is very important. So I was looking at the daily, you are focusing more on the hourly chart. Sanket, can you please explain your setup and how you can, use it for options? It's an extension of your first question. See, my setup is is that of a pullback trader, right? Wherein I define what is a pullback. Momentum, of course, plays a role here, but in this discussion, I've kept it very, very ripped to just trend and pullback. So trend के लिए सोचिए, I'm using these two moving averages, goes into an uptrend, and in a rising market, if the candles are red, it's a pullback. In a falling market like this, if the candles are green, it's a pullback. So we try and focus to buy these red candles. These are pullback candles, and on the short side, we try to sell based on these. So, so let's say trend, pullback, buy, or downtrend, pullback, sell. अब माजरा ये है, the fun part is all of these setups do not work all the time. Um, at times when it works brilliant. At times when it works, it doesn't work and it goes flat or comes down immediately. One of our recent success and failure first, is Maruti. We were looking for a short attempt on Maruti based on this, and it got triggered, and on the very same day, it got stopped out. This was a classic, heartbreaking trade. But then, based on the similar kind of a profile of a setup, one of our best trades has been IRCTC, when we have kind of found this trade and it just shot up like crazy. Okay? So the setup is simple: pullback trading. Um, Pavan is asking about GSEC. I'm not a GSEC expert. I will shy away from answering that question, because I do not have experiential data enough based on which uh, I can help you there. Um, yes, I like this question, Anish. That current market is news driven, and should we stay lighter than usual? Yes. In fact, I've been suggesting this in our masterclass live classes. Those who are there, you would know that in masterclass I take around four, not around, I take four live mentoring classes, and out of these four live mentoring classes, three live mentoring classes market hours mein hote hain, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday karke. And I've been kind of hammering it: stay light, stay light. This is the market, um, which is looking tired. It's got some news backing of some negative news, which can turn out to be a bigger one. So we, keep a low profile. So I 100% resonate with you in that statement of yours. Quickly, couple of more questions. Um, HDFC Bank, Prashant, is looking good. It's improving the weekly chart, but HDFC Bank has been a very difficult chart to trade, to be honest. You can find, you can look at Kotak Bank also. It's trying its best to go up. Let's see. No option. I personally do not trade option. My career has been such that I have always been an advisor, trader, fund manager with the direction of the market. Um, in my career, when I was doing job in the market in my Bombay days, I never got myself into options. There was already someone else taking care of the option desk. So kabhi zarurat hi nahi hua. I understand. I have briefly taught options also, but somehow I am more of a directional guy. I like the old conventional way of trading the direction of the market. Um, ठीक ठाक ही है प्रिंस. द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस तो होते रहता है, बट it's decent enough. It's decent to take care of myself. Arun has a question. I am just retired and have equity portfolio built over a period of time with substantial ROI. Surely, should I sell at my portfolio and invest in debt or wait for some time? See, equity, the more you hold on to it, equity by itself, and you know, because you've been doing this for a significant amount of time, your ROI definitely improves. But then there are those falls, and then there are those nasty falls wherein you see your portfolio come down, which at this age and as you've retired, you may be uncomfortable with it. So yeah, you can rebalance it. Again, it depends on um, your risk profile. It depends on your risk appetite. It depends on uh, your relationship with money. I use this statement a lot. What is your relationship with money? What is your spending nature? How do you see yourself? If you think that you're fairly comfortable, and even if my portfolio comes down by 20-30%, it will not bother me, I would suggest don't do anything, make no changes. But then if you say, okay, this is my equity portfolio, I've got some good returns, but if this comes down 20% from here on, I'll be uncomfortable and I'll have worries about my future. If that is the case, then you can talk to a financial advisor, sit with him, and figure out how you can rebalance yourself. My request, no matter what you do, first know thyself, understand yourself, and don't let anyone throw that this is the formula. Sir, ye karna chahiye, wo karna chahiye. If you save like this will happen. If you do this, that will happen. वो सब Excel sheet में ना जाके, life is not lived by an Excel sheet or a formula. First, know thyself, खुद को समझिए, and then take a call. You can definitely take a financial advisor's help. He or she will know much more and better than you, but you have the experience, which probably they will not have. Which is more riskier, option and futures? Trading without a plan is the most riskier, irrespective of option or your future. If you do not have a proper plan and a dedicated method, that is the most riskier thing to do. Simran again has a longish question. Do you see futures opportunity for scalp too, or is it positional basis? Because my capital sometimes, despite having the right view, it takes time for the target to come and SL it. You can scalp. I have never scalped because thankfully I never had the need to scalp. So I've always been a positional trader. I suggest also in our classes that you stick to positional as much as possible. That's where the alpha comes. Scalp करके मुझे नहीं लगता आप alpha create कर पाएंगे, honestly. So even if you're scalping now because of some capital limitations, eventually कोशिश कीजिए to move on to positional. अगर आपको seriously trade करना है तो, right? Should we avoid DT option selling? Election is over. I don't think election is going to play out as a big event here on. I think the market is, I don't know. I am closely watching the geopolitical tensions that's happening, but मुझे नहीं लगता कि market election के तरफ देख रहा है उतना closely. I don't think so. I think market would like to see how bad this Iran-Israel thing can get worse or not. The chances are there. It will affect crude. If that happens and it gets as stretched as the Ukraine and Russia war, then etc. etc. So मुझे नहीं लगता that election पे उतना closely the market is looking at. Give us some light on AVB. Okay, so this is a question from Manish that gives some light on average volume weighted average price on index, how it works, and also this gives me an opportunity to quickly share with you a playlist which I had created on my Trading View channel based on Trading View. Let me show you. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is the one. So take a look at this. This is the playlist, right? This has a lot of videos which I had created in the past on Trading View, how to make the most of Trading View. एंड यहाँ पे आपको वीवैप के ऊपर RSI वीवैप वॉल्यूम प्रोफाइल के ऊपर कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियोस दिखेगा. This might help you. This question was raised from Manish. There you go. This is Manish's question. This you will find interesting, right? So go through this playlist. If you, I don't know if you're following me on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber, so please don't misunderstand me. This is my YouTube channel. And if you just scroll down a little bit towards the lower end, this is the playlist I'm talking about. Okay? This will definitely help you. Abhijit Paul, a simple name. This is my banner. Just to, I don't know if there's any other Abhijit Paul YouTuber on the financial market or not. I'm not aware of it. Okay, let me take two more questions, right, before I sign off. No, I do not trade Forex. Which period EMA you're using, Ankit? I'm using 5 period and 8 period. I actually use a 3, 5, 8 period, but to keep things simpler, 5, 8 is more ripped. This chart that I've shared with you is very simple. 5, 8 EMA, RSI, closing prices based on Kanashi. That's it. Um, Is this a nice strategy to buy in the cash market and sell in futures? Yes, you can do that also. In fact, the discussions that I generally take in my masterclass classes with the students, there are discussions in the cash market also. In fact, Supreme Industries and few stocks we are looking at in the cash market for some kind of a move on the upside. I like the way Supreme is consolidating. Let's see whether Supreme gives a breakout or not. So the answer to your question is yes. Um, so Crompton's question, Kuldeep, possible. I'm just looking for any conceptual question that I can cover. What is your view on covered call? Covered call is a strategy, Sanjay. If you understand it, you can deploy it. It's not rocket science, right? I have seen people who have done it successfully for a decent amount of time, and I've also heard and of stories that no, it's not working. It's we are not able to generate that kind of return. So I've not done it. I only love to discuss and talk about things and concept wherein I have my experiential, where I have my skin in the game. The stuff that I've not done, my generally conceptually डिस्कस करने के बाद ज़्यादा दूर नहीं जाता बिकॉज आई नो दिस इज नॉट माई डोमेन ऑफ एक्सपर्टीज विच आई एम कंप्लीटली कंफर्टेबल विद जितना छोटा आपका जोन ऑफ कॉम्पिटेंस होगा मेरे हिसाब से उतना अच्छा है ओके वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन Sanket, as I discussed, this can extend a little bit more. Things are not looking that good. How relevant is to see the sectors relevant in stock identifying process take? You can definitely take a use of stockage. The sectoral rotation segment there is definitely useful. Whatever you do, in whichever way you do, the objective is market क्या है? That is the Nifty market and the broader markets. दोनों को एक साथ ले लीजिए. Sectoral behavior क्या है? Today, if the market has gone up 180 points, then which are the sectors which have taken it up? Which are the stocks within the sector which has taken it up? If the market has gone 190 points up, which are the sectors which have not gone 190 points up? And which are the stocks within them which is not? So you're trying to identify strength, you're trying to identify weak links. This is a process, a top-down approach. वो आप स्टॉक एज से करो या ट्रेडिंग व्यू से करो या कोई भी एबीसी सॉफ्टवेयर से करो, you should be doing it. Okay, so that was my objective to join today, Monday evening. This was the first get ready to trade. The idea was, are we ready to trade tomorrow morning or not? My general routine is after dinner. I'll just finish my dinner in some time now. 7:30 to around 8:39. I'm going to evaluate the market conditions. I generally share a couple of videos for my close community traders. कि कल कौन कौन से स्टॉक्स पे ध्यान रखना है आई create the orders and I'm done for the day and hopefully tomorrow when the market opens I'm ready to trade. So prepare yourself. It takes time. If done properly and without any haste and hurry, you should dedicate a good 1 hour minimum, no matter how experienced you are. And if you finish up your stock identification even in 30 minutes, then the rest 30 minutes you should dedicate doing something else related to your trading. Should. So do it tonight and be ready to trade tomorrow morning. Thank you everyone for joining in. It was a pleasure. Do let me know. There is a Google sheet, a Google form, which is shared with you. There are a couple of simple questions. If you answer them, then someone from our team will get in touch with you and talk about masterclass, just in case you're curious. They will take care of those answers better than I will. Okay? Manish, good to see you. AST15 student. Wow. Long time back. AC15. I don't even remember which year it was. Maybe 2017. Maybe. All right. Good. Great. Thank you, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Good night and trade well tomorrow. Thank you. Good night.